Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Dana Perez, and if you're new here, I am a travel blogger based in New York City. And if you don't follow me on Instagram, be sure to check it out. I'll leave a link down in the description box. But this is probably my most frequently asked question on what camera do I use. And it's not like an easy answer because I use a few different types of cameras and different types of lenses for different situations. So in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you guys the cameras that I use and the different lenses that I use for different situations, as well as some camera accessories and my camera bags and everything that I use basically to shoot content when I'm traveling. So you can see everything that I bring along with me. It is a lot of things, so let's get into this video. So the first camera I'm going to share with you guys is the Canon G7X Mark III. This is my vlog camera, so I mostly use this camera for vlogging myself. If you watch any of my travel vlogs, basically when I'm talking to the camera, this is what it's used on. And then I do shoot some camera B-roll footage on this camera as well. The reason why I love this camera is that it is so compact. Like, it fits in my purse if I'm going out late at night or whatever. It's just such a small camera, and it's actually kind of like a small powerhouse. I wouldn't say it has photo quality like a DSLR, but the photos on this actually are really good. I will insert some examples of all the footage I'm talking about. I recommend this camera if you're kind of starting to get into photography and don't want to spend too much money. And I have the Canon G7X Mark III. There is an older version, the Mark II, which is going to be less expensive, and I think they have the same type of quality. This one just has microphone input, so if you don't plan on using a microphone, you can totally go for the cheaper G7X Mark II. You'll have the same camera quality, so it's really up to you if you plan on using a microphone. When I do vlog, I use a microphone, and this one doesn't have a microphone hole, which is really annoying. I know that Sony has something similar with a microphone port, so I had to go online and buy this little rig. It attaches right underneath the camera, and then I put my microphone right here. If it's really windy, you don't have to worry about the sound going bad. But this camera is awesome. Another reason why I love this camera is that it works so well in low light. Basically, if I'm going out for a dinner and want to shoot content or going out at night, I always bring this because I know it's going to work really well in low light, and it's super small. So usually I carry a small bag if I'm going out for dinner, and it fits in my bag perfectly. This is especially great for the ladies out there who want a small compact camera that fits in your purse or whatever. So to sum it up, this is the Canon G7X Mark III. I use this for vlogging, video content mostly. I also use this to shoot some photos. The photos on my feed are not from this camera. I wouldn't say that I wouldn't use this camera for feed photos, but I know that my DSLR camera can shoot more quality photos, but this photo quality is pretty good. Camera, want to do video and photo. This one, you should look it up. It's really good. So now I'm going to be talking about the DSLR that I use to shoot my feed photos, basically all the campaign photos that I do. All my photography comes from a DSLR, and I recently just upgraded. Previously, for the past like 3 or 4 years, I was using the Canon 6D Mark II. So if you ask me what camera I used like 2 years ago, that's what I was using. I upgraded my camera body to a mirrorless body. This is a Sony A7. What do we have? This is the Sony A7R III, and this is what I use for all my photos. And if you know photography, you know that you can buy your body, but it doesn't come with a lens. So now I'm going to be talking to you about the lenses that I use with the A7R III. The reason why I upgraded to a mirrorless camera body is that technology is kind of headed into the direction where lenses are going to be all mirrorless eventually. So I just decided to upgrade all of my equipment to mirrorless camera lenses. It was a crazy huge investment. So if you are looking to start your camera kit, know that it does take time because cameras are not cheap. But a great tip if you want to kind of save some money, check out B&H. They have an amazing used section. B&H is a camera store in New York City, and that's where I get all my camera gear. They do have an amazing used section, and I got majority of my camera gear from B&H used. So I did save like literally I saved thousands of dollars. So if you are looking to get into camera gear, don't shy away from a used section. You'll find some amazing gear for less money, and it's all like really good stuff. So basically the reason why I upgraded my camera body was because I wanted all mirrorless lenses. I was kind of in between mirrorless and non-mirrorless, and I had a converter, and it was just a mess. So now everything is seamless, and I have 4 mirrorless lenses. So I'm going to be talking about the one that's actually filming this right now. Right now I'm filming on a Sony A7R III with a 24mm 1.4 G Master lens. I'll show a picture of it because I'm using it right now. Love it because it fits into every bag. It's so small, and 24 prime. Previously I used a 35 prime, but since getting the 24 prime, I'm so happy about the 24 because it's actually wide enough so you can get some really wide shots with amazing bokeh. Beautiful photos come from the 24 prime, and this is my go-to nighttime photography lens because the f-stop is a 1.4. It really brings in a lot of light at night, so it's my go-to nighttime camera, and it just works perfectly for my needs. The next lens is the Sony G Master Series 24-70 f2.8. I call this my ketchup lens because it literally goes with everything. You could put this on your camera and you could shoot like day to night. You'll get so much variety of photos. The widest part is a 24, which is pretty wide. That's what I have for my prime. And then it goes all the way up to a 70, so you'll get a really gorgeous zoom with this camera lens. And basically you get all of these lenses, 24, 35, 50, and 70 in one body, so you don't have to be going and changing your lens all the time. So I usually put this on when I'm shooting all day. I know I can get tons of different kinds of photos with just one lens, and I don't have to change it throughout the day. And I basically use this like if I'm touring a city, for example. I'm always carrying this one on my camera body. And I think if you are starting photography and you want to just start with one lens, I highly recommend starting with the 24-70. I find it really just gets all the content that you need in just one lens. It is a bit pricey, can kind of survive off of this one lens, and you won't really need any other lens. Obviously, when you are into cameras, like all you want to do is just buy new lenses, but I think this one really kind of fits check marks, a wide lens to zoom, and it's all in one. So I highly recommend checking this one out. The next lens that I have on this camera body is the Sony G Master Series 16-35 f2.8. This is another zoom lens, and the reason why I got this one in addition to this one is that it goes to a 16. I wish in a perfect world they would just have like a 16mm prime, because I really just wanted that 16, because the 16 is a really wide shot. This is great for shooting places that are really tight. If you want, you know, to just show a lot of landscape, this is like a really great lens for that. And also because it is a zoom, you get all of these different focal lengths in one lens. 16-35 that really elongates your legs and makes you look really lean. So 16 is great for shooting if you're in a tight space and you need a lot of background. 16 is perfect for that. It's another all-around great lens. I know a lot of photographers use this one as their like main lens because you can get a really wide shot and a 35, which is pretty cropped, in just one. Really great versatile lens. And the last camera lens that I have, oh my gosh, it's super light. This is the Sony 85 f1.8. This is a prime lens. This is so gorgeous for landscape photography. If you want to really highlight details, I'll insert some photos of me taking photos of cherry blossoms, but it really draws the background forward versus a wide lens, which kind of brings everything together, kind of like an iPhone. This one really focuses on subjects and it makes everything look so gorgeous. You'll have beautiful bokeh with this lens, and this is not the G Master series. I did some research on that and I actually saved some money just getting their Sony 85mm. It does its job and I love how the photos come out. I don't really use this too much for shooting portraits of me, but I love using this for highlighting landscapes and drawing out the background. Next up, we are going to be talking about the drone. This is the Mavic Pro 2, and this one is considerably larger than the Mavic Air series. It's pretty big, but it does fold up nicely in a backpack. This drone, drones are so tough because there are so many new regulations about flying drones. Like, it's like a hard purchase to make because it's pretty expensive and I don't use it as much as my camera gear, but the quality of the Mavic Pro 2 is just beautiful. I'll insert some B-roll of the gorgeous footage, but it's definitely an investment, but it shoots amazing quality video and photos. If you are looking for more of the professional use of it, definitely get the Pro series. Footage is just so beautiful. I love shooting this over water and landscapes. You really can get a feeling of being in this space, and drones, which is awesome. Next, I have the GoPro Hero 8. I don't really use this a lot. This is really great for video footage. It's very smooth. You can kind of like move it around. It's literally so small, and it's a really wide lens. So this is great for adding versatility to your photos. And I think just having GoPro is great to have. It's waterproof, so you can get some awesome water shots with this. So when I'm using it in the water, I have a little floaty. So if it falls off my hand, it'll float, so that's great. And then I also have a stick, a floaty stick as well, but usually I just keep on the floating device. You can get this on Amazon. It's pretty affordable, and you can get some really fun photos with the GoPro. Another gadget that I have for the GoPro is the underwater housing for the GoPro. You basically just put it in the back like this, the GoPro in the back, and you can get some cool underwater shots. Basically, if the water line is right in the center, you'll get like half land, half underwater photography, and it really adds a cool, unique aspect to your photos and videos. The only annoying thing about this is that it's just so big, and I don't really use it that often, so I usually only bring this if I'm going to somewhere like strictly tropical, that's all ocean stuff. If I'm not going to be using it, I don't even bring it with me when I'm traveling, because it does take up a lot of space for not using it a lot. And this is very affordable on Amazon, and I'll link everything that I'm talking about in the description box below if you want to check out more specs and kind of compare camera gear with what you're looking for. Cameras are very expensive, so definitely do your research before purchasing. These are just the cameras that I use for my setup to take my photos. You obviously don't need to get like the Sony A7R for your photography. So many options when it comes to photos, but this is just what I use for my kit when I shoot. The video is not done yet. I'm gonna go over some small gadgets that I use. These are polarizing filters for the drone. Basically, when you're flying this and it's full sun, you're not gonna get really great footage with just the drone. You're going to need to put a filter on it. It really keeps the color quality up to par, really keeps everything looking sharp. It's basically like a sunglass for your camera, essential for your drone, especially if you plan on flying during the day. You're definitely going to need a set of these. And then another accessory that I have for my camera gear is basically the same thing for my camera. When I'm shooting in full sun, I like to put this on. It's basically like a sunglass for your camera lens. Basically, you can keep your camera at like a low f-stop, but that's what it does to your footage, and it really does make a difference. And then I did receive some questions about what camera bag that I use. Someone has seen me wearing this in my vlogs, and this is my go-to camera bag. This is from Low & Sons. It is a leather camera bag. On the inside, everything is padded and it is made for cameras. And literally I can fit so much in here. So I can fit this really big camera body right inside. Fits perfectly. I can also fit my G7X in here. I can also bring another big lens in here. As you can see, 3 camera gear in one bag. I can also even put a GoPro in here. My cell phone can fit in the back zipper, as well as my credit cards and money. And the great thing is, if you're a female especially, this just looks like a purse. And literally I have 2 camera lenses in here, the camera body, my small G7X camera, and my GoPro, and it looks just like a regular purse. I think this is super important for females, especially for safety when you're traveling, to not look like you're carrying a lot of equipment. I definitely like to keep on the low with my camera gear, a regular cross-body purse, and I'm obsessed with this bag. It comes in black, this gray color, and it also comes in like a brown leather. Highly recommend if you're looking for a nice camera bag. I actually have it in black as well, but I usually bring this color when I'm going to vacation places because I'm usually wearing white or light colors, and it just works with every single outfit. And honestly, I'm obsessed with this bag. I transport my camera equipment like this when I'm on the plane. So I'm going to show you really quickly my camera backpack that I use to take on the plane. A backpack that we use for travel. There's so many different compartments that you can use and customize. It's all Velcro. You can customize to your needs. Basically, I put the drone in here and my camera lenses kind of pop in, and then I have all like the camera batteries and accessories that just fit in. And there's also a compartment that I use for like extra batteries and cords. And the front has a shell, so it's super hard. And I believe it's also weatherproof. It has a little rain jacket if it rains. So your camera gear is protected, and it's from Lower Pro. So this is a professional camera backpack. This is what I use to transport all of the equipment when I travel. That wraps up my camera gear equipment. I know it's a lot of things. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions about cameras, I can do my best to answer all of the questions down below. If you're looking to get a camera base, I highly recommend kind of comparing different lenses and camera bodies for your needs. This is just what I use. You definitely don't need to have a Sony A7R III to shoot amazing quality photos. Totally shoot gorgeous photos with all kinds of cameras. But I'm actually headed on a trip this week, so be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel to check out where I'm going. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and I will see you guys in the next one.